Good afternoon, YouTube. Thank you for joining me today. This is Alex the Chick coming back to you again for some additional videos as it relates to financial literacy. Today, specifically, we're focusing on some business funding opportunities. With that, before we get started, I want to encourage you to like, share, subscribe. If you see information that you found helpful, please give me a like. If you want to see more content of the type, please give me a subscribe. And if you have someone that you know that could benefit from it, please give me a share. So today I wanted to get started with this presentation on Intuit QuickBooks. And I want to start off by giving you a little information about QuickBooks in case you're not otherwise familiar with QuickBooks prior to today. QuickBooks, long story short, QuickBooks is an accounting software intended for small businesses. It gives you the opportunity to track your income and expenses, as well as a plethora of other features. But the bare bones is that it's an accounting software for small business. Over the last several years, QuickBooks has made the transition to being primarily an online platform. It still offers a desktop platform where you can download, or if you have a CD-ROM drive, because I don't, and purchase like actual software packages. But with that, they've made a big transition to online. Like I said, you can still access the regular desktop platform. Pros and cons being that with the online access, you're able to access it remotely and on the go without having to necessarily, take your laptop with you if you are running the desktop platform only. It allows you to give others access that they can also access remotely, i.e. if you are hiring an external accountant to actually manage your books, you can give additional accesses to other individuals that, may be involved in your business operations. And then also they have a long plethora of other products and services that they offer for small businesses, to include payroll, filing your taxes for you with your state and federal for business taxes. And then they do a lot of other preparatory, product link right here. So like I said, big long list of things. Biggest focus is accounting. They've added some other things like time tracking. So they're pretty popular in the business realm. This is in no way a plug for QuickBooks, because there are other service providers that offer similar services. But I will say QuickBooks does integrate with a number of other products and services that you may, use in the operation of your business. That's probably the high level info about QuickBooks, in case you didn't know. So moving on, let's get started. I came across what is called Quickbooks Capital, and so it is a aspect of QuickBooks where they actually lend to small business owners. And so the biggest catchphrase that caught my eye, which probably will catch your eye as well, is that applying will not affect your credit in any way. And so I found that to be true, that although they are doing an inquiry to your credit, it is a soft inquiry, so therefore it will not show up on your credit report, thus not decreasing your credit score. Know this to be true at this point in time, today, April the 13th at 2:52 p.m., just to be clear. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about QuickBooks Capital and the actual lending opportunities that they have for small businesses, and then we can talk about some of the eligibility requirements going forward as well. So coming down, they give you a simulator to start with, where you're able to actually see that they loan amounts from $5,000 to $150,000 for terms from 6 to 18 months. So they give, short-term and I will say mid-term lending terms. 18 months is not really what could be considered as long-term funding. And so with that, in the simulator, they allow you to look at your credit profile and, estimate your credit profile to whether you consider it to be great, good, average, or fair. These ratings are pretty synonymous to what you may see when you look at your FICO score on any other platform, where it gives you these ranges, these score ranges based on where you may fall, and therefore you can estimate where you will fall when it comes to interest rates and terms. And not to be taken, specifically, because again, they're just based on general ranges, and most FICO gives you one of the 4 categorizations, but of course, pending credit verification, will more specifically. And so just clicking on fair, we see that they're giving you a simulated 9.04% interest rate with an APR 34%, APR being the overall cost of lending. 9.04 is what you'll actually see your interest rate on what you're utilizing. And this is for a 6-month, 26-week term. And then it looks like the best the best rate possible is going to be that 2.61 with an APR of 9.9%, which is phenomenal considering that many credit cards do not touch this rate. So yeah, that's good. Overall, if you're looking at $10,000 worth of funding, you're paying interest of $261 over 6 months. That's not the worst thing ever. Big tagline they're emphasizing here is no origination fees, no repayment penalties, and no hidden charges. We love no hidden charges, and we love no prepayment penalties as well, because you don't want to be stuck having to, have a loan out longer than you actually need it just to fulfill some terms and conditions, as opposed to being able to go ahead and pay it back, and then you save yourself the extra interest. And so with this, you apply actually right directly within QuickBooks. So moving into that aspect, let's talk a little bit about what they have outlined as their eligibility requirements. Before I go too fast, they have little videos where they explain to you how some things work. QuickBooks is really good about giving you videos for literally everything. It's a matter of not if you want to watch them, but they are there for you to watch and learn a little bit more. So let's talk a little bit about these eligibility requirements. So number one, being a clear picture of your business in QuickBooks. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that when they view your QuickBooks account, can they get a good understanding of your revenue sources, your expenses, and how much money you're actually profiting with your business? Is very important. This is for any lender. I want to emphasize that any lender needs to be able to get a clear picture of your business, whether it's in QuickBooks or by way of a profit loss statement. Documentation is very important when it comes to operating a successful business. And so with that, if you don't know how much money you're spending and bringing in, like if you don't know, then you're going to constantly be in this cyclic kind of destructive almost pattern, because it's very important that you know how much you're spending and how much you're making. Therefore, you can look at those costs to see where you need to maybe cut as it relates to expenses or increase as it relates to revenue. But that's a whole different conversation. The big thing is that QuickBooks wants to be able to look at your business and get a clear picture of your business. So next step is looking at your personal and business credit history. Like I said, they mentioned at the top that it does not impact your credit at all for you to apply, but they do consider your personal and business credit history. So with that, they, I believe, use Equifax that they're looking at, but it's a soft inquiry, so it does not result in an inquiry actually on your credit report. So that's pretty awesome as well. You must have your primary business banking account connected through QuickBooks, and so with that, they're probably just going to review transactions in the account as well when they're uploaded over to QuickBooks. And then the next thing is going to be revenue of at least $50,000 over the past 12 months. So I don't think that, so year to date, essentially, they're looking at the $50,000 revenue for the past 12 months. I jumped over to FAQs because I saw in the FAQs I wanted to continue talking about the eligibility requirements as it relates to this. And so, again, clear picture of your business, and then they also want to see six months of activity within your QuickBooks account. So, essentially what that's saying is that you need to have a QuickBooks account and you need to be operating your business through QuickBooks, and that gives them an inside look at your business operations to be able to obtain that clear picture. Your personal and business credit history to include a FICO score of 620 or higher. Again, re-emphasizing primary business accounts connected through QuickBooks, revenue of at least $50,000 over the past 12 months. And so with having a QuickBooks account, like I said, you're able to apply directly in QuickBooks for this funding to see if you're approved and it does not have an impact on your credit score. I know I keep saying it, but it's super important to me that we, applying for funding, that it's not going to have any kind of negative implications on anything that I need to do, later. And so this just gives you a cost comparison of personal loan, business credit card, QuickBooks, just to get an idea. They're showing how they can basically save you money as it relates to interest. That may or may not be true. It has a get started button here. We can go through the application. I also want to take a look and see a couple other FAQs that will probably be relevant and of interest to you. So is collateral required? QuickBooks Capital does not require collateral. Okay. Instead, we base our loans on the overall health of your business and your personal guarantee, which means you're responsible for repaying the loan even if your business cannot, which is the next question, does it require a personal guarantee? And so that the answer is yes. Most small business funding, as I've said a bajillion times at this point, throughout, these videos, that the days of no PG are kind of extinct like dinosaurs. Um, that most funding is going to require personal guarantee. And that should not scare you away, because if your intent is to run a successful business, you should have all intent of being able to pay it back, and that, your business is going to be successful, sustainable, and feasible to where you can pay it back. But it is, even with all the hopes in the world, it is important to have a good business model and to have, a revenue stream that's able to support what it is that you're being lent, essentially, or, outside income that can supplement you until your business is lucrative in the way that you see fit. Does QuickBooks Capital have financial partners? Yes. Okay. Good to know. Is it available in all states? So this is good. Currently available in 48 states. So just not Nevada and Alaska. So if you live in one of those two places, you are precluded from funding at this time. But the other 48 states, have at it. And Intuit Financing. So a little bit about Intuit. They also own TurboTax. And they bought out Mint as well. So Intuit is a pretty large company in the financial realm, especially on the personal and the business side. So this just gives you a brief little rundown. Again, there's other FAQs here. Again, high-level highlight of QuickBooks Capital. You can go on their website and learn, a lot more about what they have to offer. And like I said, again, if you found this video helpful, a thumbs up would be great. If you want to see more content of this type, a subscription would be amazing. And then if you know someone that this information could help, a share would be appreciated. But I thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to speaking with you next time. Peace out.